What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about this daggone Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, and y'all, everybody been buzzing around the internet talking about this whole Robin situation and her on Watch What Happens Live. Child, we gonna get into it. Let's get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force, yeah. Blessing the reap and we coursing on.
Now, y'all, I have got to shout out my girl Linda Gamble. She is in the building. Linda, you are always right on time. I so love you dearly. She says, how are you doing today? I am doing so good, y'all. Y'all know I teach my well, you may not know. I teach my step class on Mondays and Thursdays. So I try to come on here if I haven't done my review already. I try to come on here after class. I am an extreme hip hop aerobic step instructor, and a girl is tired and a girl is me, okay? But y'all, so we got to get into this Real Housewives of Potomac. And let me tell y'all something before we get into the nitty gritty of it all. I feel like Robin should be canned. I'm just going to tell you right now, because she went through this entire season coming for Karen all day long, pretending to be there for Candace, right? Because she wasn't really there for Candace. And I'm going to say this to y'all. I feel like Giselle wasn't really there for Robin by not telling Robin's story, because Giselle tells everything else that she tells lies, by the way. She lies on everybody else. She makes up stuff just to keep from having to talk about her own life. I feel like it is a disservice to Robin for Giselle to have not brought up what went on with her and Juan. And I feel like Giselle didn't bring it up, because to bring up something that has to do with Robin wholeheartedly gives Robin the shine that Robin so needs. Okay. Robin should have brought this whole story up, because this would have given her her rightful place on the show by her earning it. Giselle wasn't going to help her do that, because if Robin earned her keep by actually telling something that's going on in her life, now Giselle looks bad, because then Giselle is going to be like, oh, shoot. Now they're going to expect me to tell my life story, and I don't want to tell them my business. So if I help Robin tell her story by bringing it up like I bring up everybody else's story, then they're going to expect me to tell the truth about my life, and that I will be the only one that's isolated that hasn't really been truthful about what's going on. Nobody peeps that. So Giselle is not really being a good friend to Robin right now by not saying anything. Giselle is looking out for herself, because Giselle is going to be like, well, she didn't want me to bring it up, so I didn't bring it up. Giselle is always out for self, and Robin is going to learn that when she's getting that pink slip, okay? But y'all, let's get right on into it. Linda Gamble says Robin and Giselle both need to be fired. I agree, because for you to sit up here and say that Giselle knew about it, and Giselle is supposedly an executive producer on the show, you supposed to be producing all these scenes and all this stuff, you bringing up all this drama, but when it comes to your so-called friend, you not bringing up the drama? Okay, all right, but y'all, let's get into it, because honestly, I'm gonna say this. They should have brought up all the stuff that was going on with Robin, because otherwise this season has been very boring. It really has. It's been giving absolutely nothing. All the fake lies, all of the drama with Mia and Jacqueline, Mia and everybody, Mia and Wendy. Just all this. It has been falling very flat. Giselle making up the fact that she felt intimidated by Chris, and then Ashley's little friend saying that Chris was trying to talk to her. It's all fake. And for Potomac to have risen from the sand of dryness as it was in the beginning to even be remotely compared to the Real Housewives of Atlanta is a huge compliment. But they are losing. They are quickly losing their star with this season because the constant making up stuff and the conjured up storylines, it's not good. It's not looking good for them. But moving on. The show starts off where Ashley is taking Dean to Founding Farmers. I think that's where she took him to eat. And first of all, Dean is not having it. Okay, Dean is throwing a tantrum. Dean looked like he just woke up. Dean just finished a major stock deal. He don't have time to be going to Founding Farmers and eating. First of all, both of y'all in here coughing and carrying on. You don't have a mask on. This is how people getting sick out here. Okay. Because of Ashley, people like Ashley, you just going out having dinner with your kids and you don't feel good. They don't feel good. Don't nobody feel good. Stay home and cook dinner, honey. What is going on? Why did you have to bring this young man out of the house that clearly does not want to be out of the house? This is just giving ridiculous. Linda Gamble says there is some truth with Karen stepping out on her marriage, allegedly. Wow. Karen, we're gonna talk about that. I don't disagree that Karen is doing something. I feel like Karen is busting it wide open and telling them to bring it back to other men that are not her husband. I honestly do think that. But listen, they like it. We love to see it. Okay. But yeah, Linda, that look crazy right there. That's a look crazy. Okay. So moving on, Ashley tells Dean about the house. She's basically letting him know that she bought the house for them to move into it and that, that's going to be his home. He was in there playing and he's like, oh, great, excited. First of all, Dean is 3 years old. He probably don't remember that daggone house and don't really give a damn about that house. He probably helped her to write the whole deal for the house because Dean has a lot of brain in that head of his. He's very smart. He looks it. I don't know why Ashley is doing the things that she's doing. Why would you buy a house with your ex-husband? Ma'am, did you think because you get in that house that somehow in the divorce decree, they're going to force him to pay this mortgage for you? And Ashley, you called your mama on the phone and told her about this house and your mother didn't look excited for you, ma'am. She did not. She did not look excited. She actually looked very concerned for you. She did. The concern that everybody on national TV was giving, because it's like, you're talking about your mortgage is $13,000. Did you not see that your friend Mia just moved out of her $10,000 a month rental space? But you go get a mortgage where in your confessional, you admit that Michael probably is not going to help you. He is thinking that you're going to pay for this by yourself. Mind you, okay, Ashley, let's say that Michael does not help you, okay? With the alimony and the child support that you're getting, let's say that he at least pays half of the mortgage. You can afford a $7,000 mortgage. Heck, you can afford a $6,000 mortgage. You can do it, Ashley. I think that Ashley is so used to Michael doing everything for her that she has a very childlike mindset on being an adult. It's like she don't even seem like she know how to call the electric company to set up her electric bill. Grow up, Ashley. Yes, you've been married for 10 years. I get it. Now, I think Ashley is 34, if I'm not mistaken. So that means you've been married to him since you were 24. You probably were dating him maybe 2 years before that or a year before that. I don't know. But you should know how to pay bills by yourself because you were a grown woman when you met him. Ashley, please grow up. You are two little people's mama. You got to figure it out. And my thing is, sis, if you are worried about this $13,000 mortgage, would you buy a $13,000 a month mortgage house? Stop trying to listen, all y'all women that want to keep up with the Joneses, but you can't afford to do it, change your last name to Jackson. That's what I'm just saying. Change it up. Because if you can't afford it, don't do it. Period. I'm not about to go and buy no house where I can't afford the mortgage every month. That's dead and ain't never going to be alive. And I don't care what none of these women think. Hell, Robin lived in a damn townhouse since she been on the show. And her Potomac house was foreclosed on when she came on the show. So she been doing it. Why can't y'all? And quiet as it's kept, Ashley Silver from from Love and Marriage DC was like, they ain't let her on the show because she ain't have enough money. Or she didn't have enough, she only had one Mercedes or whatever the case may be. But y'all let Robin on the show, Miss Brokey herself. She didn't exhibit any type of rich lifestyle. But y'all let her on the show and she on here lying. Everything I say in this video is alleged and all that good stuff. Read the comment. Read the comment that I put at the disclosure that I put at the end of every video, because I don't need nobody having nothing to say to me. But listen, y'all, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I ain't never gonna get it. Moving on, okay? Moving on, Ashley, you and your $13,000 mortgage. Good luck to you, in the words of my girl Jamie. That's me, okay? Giselle is on her roof moving branches around. Robin is at home with her family, fake working out. Crystal, Candace's sister, is in the kitchen and they discuss her video release party. Karen is talking about her 3, 4, and 50 wick candles, child. And then she calls Mia. Karen calls Mia to discuss the bachelorette party. So Mia tells her about all the stuff that Sharice said about her sleeping with the man in the bathroom, child, while her saying, Sharice basically saying that she'll sleep with any D around when she's drunk. And Karen asks if Mia defended her. And Mia says, well, no, not really. I really, really didn't. First of all, Karen, why would you expect Mia to defend you? Mia is a little lie face. She doesn't know how to tell the truth about anything. Why would you expect for Mia to have any type of loyalty to you whatsoever? Mia don't even have no loyalty to her best friend of 20 plus years. So why would you expect her to have any type of loyalty towards you? Jacqueline wasn't even in this last scene, if I'm not mistaken. She wasn't even at the album release party. So why would you think that this lady has any loyalty towards you? Mia don't care about nobody but Mia. Period. Okay? She don't care about nobody but Mia. She does not care about you, Karen. And why would she defend you? Mia feels wronged by you in some kind of way because she feels like you should have defended her with the whole situation with Wendy. She feels like remember, she canceled your whole birthday plans because she wanted you to kiss her ass and be all up in her BI and tell her that she was right and everything but wrong when it came to the whole situation with Wendy. So that was her way of trying to get back at you. And Sharice, I'm going to say this to you. Let it go. Let it burn, like Usher says, because this is too much. You are borderline stalking Karen to get back on this show. And it's very tragic. It's tragic, you see. Tragic. You are doing the absolute most to look like the worst to get on this show. And you're on the show and bringing absolutely nothing. You're on as a friend and bringing absolutely nothing. Zip zilch nada. You should have brought up Robin's story about if you and Juan are such best friends. I mean, if you and Robin are such best friends, Sharice, why you ain't bring up the whole infidelity thing? And why didn't she tell you? Because you felt like you should have planned her bachelorette party because y'all so close. Why you ain't bring up the whole situation with Juan so you can get your ass back on the show? You want to chase Karen around talking about all the D that she done had up in her cooch. Why are you so worried about who Karen is sleeping with? What you doing? Is there any sex in the champagne room in your house? Uh-huh. Why you worried about what Karen is doing so much? It's giving tired. It's very, very tired. Pretty Brown Eyes is in the building. Hey, Linda and Shay, I'm in the bushes listening to you. What's up? What's up, lady? What's going on? Thank you so much for joining us. Linda Gamble says all of them have secrets on each other. They are not friends. None of them have us as friends. Absolutely not. Linda Gamble says, hello, Pretty Brown Eyes, my sis. Yes, yes, yes. So, y'all, Robin in the next scene. So Mia didn't defend her, and so Karen is mad that Mia didn't defend her. And I'm like, girl, why did you expect for Mia to defend you? But moving on. And her parents come over, and she basically goes ahead and tells them that Juan's brother is getting married or something. She was like her future sister-in-law. So they were supposed to go to a wedding in Jamaica. So they were going to get married in Jamaica, and it was just going to be them, a private ceremony with them and the kids. And then, but the parents were not invited. So the mom felt pretty upset. She was like, well, I've been your biggest fan. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to invite me to your wedding. Like, that's crazy. And I really didn't get the whole thing about her not inviting her parents either, because she gave this whole cockamamie story about, well, if I invite you, then I have to, and aunts and uncles and cousins, sister friends, and all these people. I don't want all these people there. Basically, Robin, just say, I don't want to pay for all these people's plates. I ain't trying to pay for all these people. This man has cheated on me already, child. I ain't trying to pay for all these mofos to eat. I don't need all these people to witness my foolishness, okay? I want to go and be foolish by myself. Okay, I want to go do it by myself. I don't want no witnesses. I don't want none of that. Just me, myself, my whatever he about to be, husband, homie, lover, friend, whatever, and my kids. That's it. That's all she had to say. But girl, your parents is not judging you. And I don't understand why Juan's daddy wasn't there, because ain't his dad still around? I don't know. But anyway, as we can see at the end, the parents ended up coming. But she said, I got to think about it. I'm going to think about it, whatever. Girl, bye. Okay? Girl, bye. Moving on. Gordon and Mia go to the doctor's office for Mia's 50th time, because from what it sounded like, she'd been in the doctor's office 11,000 times to figure out her fake cancer, all this stuff. Mia, you got a little lying problem. You really, really do. And she got on social media upset because people was calling her a liar. Well, when you do stuff like this, and even your own husband called you out. Because Gordon was like, yeah, when you thought you had cancer, or, in your head, what you perceived as cancer, it really wasn't, because you just conjured it up in your head. Like, he said that to her. He was like, basically, like, she conjured it up in her head from what the people said to her. She just assumed that this is what's going on. And I'm like, damn, Mia, you lying to your own husband? Linda Gamble says a fake wedding to cover up the cheating rumors and Juan's legal issues. Bingo. And Juan, I was trying to be there for you on your side, sir, but now that I've seen that you knew what was going on and you basically just didn't say anything, I feel like that is so messed up. As the coach of the team, you would just sit up there and let this student be wronged like this. This is crazy to me. And Robin, I hope you're ready for this jelly, because all the legal fees that you're gonna have to pay for, honey, this is about to be a wrap for y'all. But I guess Juan is like, listen, I'm gonna get all my money back that you lost for me. When we had millions, when I was in the NBA, putting my body at risk, and you gave all our money to this man that didn't offed himself and spent all of our damn money in stocks and whatever the heck he done spent it on, and we ain't got and made us broke. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get you back for that. I'm gonna go ahead and get my lick back real quick. Juan wasn't gonna sign no damn prenup, quiet as it's kept. Okay. So anyway, back to Mia's health issues. Basically, homegirl had a rash. Okay, she ain't had no cancer. It wasn't no lymphoma. All that. She was BSing around, and sister girl got a rash. Moving on. So Giselle and her girls are at some sweet treats place. For Giselle to always be eating all the snacks and sweet treats that she want to eat all the damn time, because she seemed like a dessert person. That's what she said. She should be big as a house, but she was at the sweet treat place with the girls. And then she starts talking about this guy, Steve. The girls are just so not interested. They're like, oh, okay, whatever. Next. So then she starts talking about her fibroids and her having to have her uterus removed and to have a hysterectomy. I would so rather hear about that than Steve. Cause girl, you ain't about to be with Steve. Just stop. And the girls even know you ain't about to be no damn Steve. And you talking about I need to have a man with a big D that's gonna drop it up on me. Girl, he ain't riding that rotten cotton for too long. Okay. So you just might as well just skipped on in and talked about what's really going on in your life. I just feel like Giselle, it really could have been helpful for her to talk about her fibroids because so many black women go through that all the time. So it would have been nice to actually see her go through the process of what leads up to her surgery, all those different things. She could have done so much by helping people with that storyline. Instead, she want to be making up, conjuring up stuff about Chris Bassett and trying to cause strife between him and uh Candace. I just didn't understand it. It was very stupid to me. So the girls are actually concerned. They're like, oh, and but then they had some anatomy issues. Like they were like, oh, is this gonna fall out? Do you still have eggs? Is this doing that? I'm like, girl, listen, your mama is old. Don't worry, y'all ain't about to have no siblings from your mama. Okay. Now your father, on the other hand, he out here dicking and dabbing and everybody. So you might continue to have a bunch of siblings, by way of him. But see, your mama is done. The party done inside her vagina. Okay. So you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about that. Okay. Don't even worry about it. So they have a conversation about that. And the girls try to reassure her that removing her uterus may, while it does hurt her feelings and may present emotions, it doesn't take away from who she is. And the girls reassure her that she's a good person and it doesn't take away from her not having a uterus. So Wendy calls Karen, and Karen tells her about what Mia said about what all the things that Sharice said in the club or whatever, at the bachelorette party. And Wendy says the silence of friends is damning, because basically she's like, okay, if I was there, I would have spoke up for Karen. But with Mia being there, she basically admitted that she didn't speak up for Karen, and that's messed up. So basically, Wendy is trying to bring to Karen's attention that Mia ain't your friend, sis. Cause she ain't never gonna have your back, never gonna do it, never gonna do it, never gonna do it, never do it. Okay. So in the next scene, Candace's video premiere party is underway, and Giselle in her confessional says she wants to have a conversation with Chris. But Chris is like, what are we really about to be talking about? Like, I don't need to be talking to you right about now. Like, for what? Yawning is contagious. I'm so sorry, y'all. But it is late and I'm tired and yeah. So we're gonna get through this. So Giselle wants to talk to Chris, and Chris in his confessional says he did nothing wrong and doesn't need to speak to her ever again. So the DJ comes up. He announces Candace's arrival after she basically told her manager, "Why is nobody announcing me? Like I'm just walking in here. This is my video release party. Like she needs some hype around her. Basically, like I'm not about to just walk in here like a regular guest and nobody acknowledges my presence." So they did a whole spiel about her entering and whatnot. So this party, the Jasmine brand was hosting it. So the Jasmine brand brings up the record deal, the record company that signed Candace. That individual talks. Then Candace comes up and she gives a speech. She's like, thanking everybody that's in the room, and she thanks her mom and her dad for pretty much telling her that she can put her mind to anything. She can do anything she wants to do. Then she thanks Chris, and she was like, because I love you. And that almost like made me tear up a little bit. I was like, wow, that is so cute that she is really giving her husband the accolades like that, because Candace be talking shit to Chris all the time. And I don't know how he deals with her sometimes, but moments like this, it makes me realize, she really does love him and they really do have a good quality relationship. And for Giselle to be out here making these false accusations and doing the stuff that she's doing, it's just really messed up. So anyway, um, Sharice is basically there hating on Karen because Karen arrives, everybody's sitting there. Ashley comes in looking tacky as always. Like I feel like tacky chow sounded like giving you the real tea. Tea is hilarious, by the way. But Ashley always comes naked. And I get it, girl. The body is banging, but that don't mean you got to show everybody everything. Like naked is not an outfit. It's not. It really is not. And trying to wear as least as possible is just that's not attractive. It's not on trend. It's really not. Because just because you wear something naked because your body looks good doesn't mean that everything matches. Doesn't mean everything matches, Ashley, because everything you had on didn't match. Okay, it didn't look good to me. And we're gonna talk about these reunion looks for real quick. I don't have pictures up. Well, maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, I didn't like Ashley's outfit. It was the worst to me. It was the worst. This episode was the worst on the reunion. But moving on, so that she does all that. So Ashley talks to Wendy and tells her at the bachelorette party, Mia says she wanted her puss. Child, Wendy addresses Mia saying, "You whispered in my ear saying you wanted to sniff my box or whatever." So they all laughed about it. So that was when the Jasmine brand did all the intros and all that stuff, and Candace came up and did her whole speech, blah blah blah. So moving on. The video plays, and after the video plays, Giselle was like, "Oh, I didn't even watch it. Oh, was it good?" Girl, don't pretend like you didn't see the video. You like the video. Candace is talented. Just stop. I don't know why Giselle got to hate on everybody. It's absolutely giving ridiculous. But you can't sing, dance, child, make a sandwich. I don't know what you can do. You're doing absolutely nothing but hating on everybody. Move on with your life, girl. Be miserable another time. Linda Gamble says Candace has grown. She definitely has. Absolutely. She's grown on me because I could not stand Candace at first. But now she's grown on me. Ashley reunion looks prostitute outfit. Yes, it does. It's to me, it's like naked is not an outfit. It's not. It's not on trend. It really isn't. But moving on. Robin, after the video plays and whatnot, everybody wishes Candace the best. Everyone basically says that Candace is talented except for Giselle, which is a hater. So Robin finally arrives and she comes in here dressed in all white like the bride. I'm like, girl, did you get married today? But then she says that was the theme of, I guess, her soon to be sister-in-law's bridal shower. So she had to come dressed like that. So moving on. Giselle tells Karen Mia called her a prostitute at Robin's bachelorette party. Mia comes over and says, "No, I didn't call you a prostitute, but it was implied. Basically, it was implied by Mia due to the allegations that Sharice was putting out about Karen. And, basically all the stuff that Sharice was talking about. And I'm just like, Sharice, this is getting very old. You coming over here and trying to make up stuff about Karen just to get back into the show is just really sad. It's given very pathetic. So then Ashley waters her tail over to get in the conversation and says, it seems plausible because it's coming from someone that was your friend. Basically saying that if Sharice is saying that, it could be true because her and Sharice were once close. So Karen moves away from all of them and says, she's not speaking to Sharice and she doesn't want to even breathe the same air as her, saying, "I hear you, but I'm not listening," and walks off. I'm like, Karen, is this your colloquialism for the night? Because you said it to Sharice and then you said it to Mia again. Like, "I hear you, but I'm not listening." Which one of your good Judys told you that? Because I know you ain't come up with that on your own. It's clever, but you didn't come up with that on your own. I'm just saying, but whatever. Moving on. Robin says, "This is what I expect." So Karen walks off after all of this stuff going on with Sharice, which why did you expect her to stay in the I don't get these ladies. You expect somebody to stay there and get chomped on, which, Robin, you've been questioning everybody's relationship all season long. You've been telling people you need to just take accountability. You just need to take accountability. Basically, getting mad at Karen in this scene because she walked off because she wasn't trying to argue with Charisse over something that she says is not true. So you can hold Karen to a higher accord and a high standard, but not your own self. Girl, I know you're lying. Moving on. So Giselle asked Candace why haven't her and Chris talked, and she says tonight is, basically she's like, well, why haven't me and Chris? Giselle's like, I want to talk to Chris about what's going on. Why haven't we talked? You said that now that we've squashed it, that's a good time for us to talk. So let's go ahead and talk. So Candace is like, this ain't the night. This ain't the nice night, honey. This is about me, and Chris is probably not trying to be having no conversation, no kumbaya powwow moment with you right about now. This is my album release party, video release party. I'm not trying to be going back and forth with you, and I don't want to argue with you. This is a good time, a good feel. Leave it alone, okay? So Giselle kind of lets it go, but she really doesn't, because now she uses Ashley to do her dirty work, and we'll show you. We'll talk about that. So Mia pulls Karen to the side to chat, and Karen says, I'm basically not entertaining any of this stuff that's going on here with Charisse. Like, I don't want to talk to her. I'm not talking to her. It is what it is. And Mia is like, well, I like Charisse, and I'm like, girl, don't nobody have time for who you like. Who cares? Who freaking cares, girl? Move on. They don't like each other. So why is everybody trying to force them to be friends? I think that's so stupid to me. So moving on, Mia tells Karen about a rumor of her sleeping with the brother of a restaurateur in PG County and going to Vegas with said brother and sexing him in the bathroom at the said restaurant in question. She says she heard it. So Karen says, I hear you, but I'm not listening. All right, Karen, this is becoming repetitive. You're continuing to say this over and over. Who told you this read? Because it's given very rehearsed and practice. But anyway, Karen is like basically jumping around the mulberry bush with it. She's not confirming nor denying it. But then she eventually denies that this is the case and that she's not doing anything like that. She's like, I know I look young at 59. A lot of young dudes want to get a piece of this, but no, I'm not sleeping with anybody at any restaurateur. Then in her confessional, she says, I reached out to the owners of said restaurant and they don't know who Mia is, because Mia implied that she knew who these people were. Here's the thing. They keep on trying to bring out all these allegations about Karen. I really don't care who Karen is sticking her old vagina on, okay? Old and cold, like Sheree said. But I really don't care who Karen is riding into the sunset outside of Ray. Let Ray handle that, okay? I don't care. I really don't care. I promise you that. So moving on, Giselle brings up talking to Chris again. And Candace comes over to check on everyone and ask how they're doing since they ran Karen off. Because after the conversation with Mia, Karen says, you know what, Ray, we got to go because I ain't got time for this. Karen is above the bullshit at this point. She's like, I'm not about to go back and forth with you heifers. I already know what it is. Y'all trying to disrupt my peace, and you trying to disrupt my marriage. Now I know I'm here with this old man, and that's my old man, and I ain't trying to mess it up. And y'all over here trying to mess up my relationship because all you heifers is messy, and none of your relationships are working out. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly scoop my man up and get the hell up on out of here. Sayonara. Good job, Candace. Have a good day. So she leaves, okay? And Ashley asked Candace about talking to Chris about his tweets, because basically Giselle is not going to be able to go and talk to Chris. So Ashley got to go do her dirty work. So Candace is like, really, I don't want you talking to Chris because your Sesame character, face ass friend, has something to say. And it's not true. Chris was not checking for her. So why are you going over and talking to Chris? And so Ashley was like, well, first of all, you are being mean talking about my friend, and second of all, because you know what, I'm not about to talk to you. I'm not about to ask you. There were adults. I don't have to ask you. First of all, if I told you, let me tell you something right now, you stupid little heifer. If I told you to not go talk to my husband or address my husband, you better stay perched where you at. Do not even part your lips like the 7 C's to go and talk to my man. And I told you not to. No, not never, not never. Ashley done lost her naked clothes wearing mind. I don't get it. You just mad because your husband is out here in these streets and you trying to fake like you getting a divorce because you don't want to be embarrassed. That's what it is. Moving on. So Ashley talks to Chris and says when he said the things on Twitter about her being sorry, she felt threatened or whatever. He says, listen, I don't mean to come off this way, but it's really just messed up because all of these allegations you guys are bringing out, and none of it is true. You saying I tried to talk to your friend, I wasn't really fooling with your friend, so it's like I'm taking out my anger. I don't mean to be disrespectful to you, but this is really pissing me off. And Ashley was like, so I definitely understand where you're coming from, but the whole situation, it just is a bit questionable. Ashley, what the are you talking about? How is it questionable? And you weren't even over there. You were not there to witness what happened. You did not see Chris and his demeanor when he was over there with your friend. You are going off of merely just what your friend has said. So what the are you talking about? Ashley, at this point, you are pulling things out of the drawers that you don't wear. Making it up. It's trumped up, I say. It's full of crap. That's exactly what you are. Because that doesn't even make any sense. His behavior was questionable. Girl, you wasn't even over there to see his behavior. So Candace and Chris are in the back talking. And, she's basically like, listen, miserable people, misery loves company, okay? We ain't about to be their guest, okay? I know that you are good to me. I know that you're not messing around with no Sesame Street characters. I'm not tripping off of Ashley. No matter what she says, it doesn't matter because basically Candace is saying she trusts Chris. She knows that he didn't do anything. So they agreed to move on and get gone. Okay. So now we get to the confessionals, the final, everybody. This is here. This is where we are now. Okay. So Ashley moved. It confirms Ashley moved into the house in this past October, and she was dating Luke from Summer House, but now all of a sudden they not dating. Ashley ass is trying to stay with Michael because Ashley don't want to pay no damn bills. That's what that is. So she probably is gonna stay with him, let him cheat, and be like, you know what? It's cheaper for him to keep me because then I ain't got to worry about none of these bills. He can just pay these bills. I can have these children and I can go on by my business. But the thing is, you ain't gonna be able to be frolicking around with Luke. Okay. Or maybe she still is, but she lying and don't want him to know about it. Who knows? Candace has gone on tour for Deep Space, and Chris is no longer working at the hotel. So he is home more these days because Candace really wanted him to be around the house a lot more. But I hope that he didn't lose his job. I hope he left on his own merit, but not because of something that's going on in this show and they let him go. Karen expanded her evening with LaDon tour, and Ray is still her biggest fan. Okay, moving on. Giselle had a hysterectomy after wrapping filming and has made a full recovery. She is entertaining a younger Bravo celebrity among other suitors. Okay. Wendy is kickboxing to handle stress, child, because we don't need Wendy having no more ulcers or whatever she had going on with the fibroids. And Mia's finances are basically messed up. She had to move up out that rental house she was renting in Potomac and go on. I don't know if she went back to the penthouse in the sky high because she was moving on up in Baltimore. But child, I don't know. And whatever is going on with her and her husband's family is entirely extremely messed up because for them to try to leave them destitute like that, that's really, really crazy. And it's stupid to me because why would y'all take them off of the businesses? And she's on a nationally syndicated TV show. She could get more people into y'all businesses by her being on this show. I just crabs in a barrel, child. I don't know. Then Robin, last but not least, she ain't get the prenup, and they did in fact get married. So they showed this plane going into Jamaica, child, because that was what they planned on doing. But then they ended up getting married in Edgemere, Maryland. The mom and dad, Robin's mother and father did come. Okay, they got married, and Robin decides that she wants to give a middle finger to the camera because she's saying toodles to you bitches. I married him anyway. Be gone, okay? Out of our lives, out of our opinions, because I'm gonna look stupid if I want to. It's my stupidity, and I'll cry if I want to, okay? Moving on. So, child, Robin was getting roasted and toasted by the Andy Cohen in that after Watch What Happens Live after show. Okay, or that interview. So he asked her to clarify why the women had a hotel, why the woman that Juan was messing with had a hotel receipt with Juan's name on it. So again, we reiterate the story about Juan being such a great good Samaritan where he goes and pays for, puts his card down for somebody's hotel. Let me stop you right here, Batman. Riddle me this, Batman. If she came all the way from Canada, mind you, I agree with Robin. Canada had the craziest restrictions. And I'll give her that foreign exchange of funds from Canada is a little tricky because I've had to do it with some people on my team at my full-time job, and it is difficult. However, it can be done. And sis came down here without any money. It's no way I'm going out of the country and I don't have enough extra money to get myself, pay for my hotel room and get myself back home. No, ma'am. I'm not going. And why would you come down here if it's no guarantee that this man is going to be in your room or come and see you? It's a lot of fishy stuff with this person that came out with all this information. But Juan, you definitely did go to that room. You definitely paid for it, and you definitely did something. I think you did. In my opinion, I think you went on and you had a little rump session, and that's that. Moving on. So Andy also says you're in a reality show about your life, and infidelity was a hot topic of convo. You've played a part. How do you stay silent through the season? Basically asking her, girl, have you lost your mind? Why would you be quiet about this the entire season? So Robin continues to go on and make excuses about herself, talking about something. Well, it wasn't quite happening right then and there. So it was like we had already dealt with it. So I didn't want to bring it up. Girl, I know you lying. Was Karen sleeping with blue eyes in front of you right then and there? Was the situation with Candace and Giselle happening right then and there? Was the situation with Karen being drunk and sleeping with all these people while she's drunk happening right then and there? No, it wasn't. Y'all brought all this stuff up to create drama that wasn't real. Was Wendy and her body makeover and y'all potentially thinking her husband was cheating on her present tense? No, because y'all made that up. But nobody can talk about what happened with you and Juan. You're a real piece of Schmidt, Robin Dixon. You really are. I really don't get it. So then Andy asks, you withhold the truth on the show, then sell it on a paywall? He must have been real pissed that she took her talents to daggone Patreon for what happened and told people the same stuff again, apparently. Because there's been some other bloggers that bit the bullet and paid the $5 in my Martin voice to go and see what she said, and it wasn't it was a bunch of nothing. My thing is, girl, you could have said that on the show and got paid a hell of a lot more. I guess she's like, well, I'll get paid an additional fund. My check from Bravo gets cashed. I can go over here and do this. And again, like I said in the beginning of the video, Giselle was not going to instigate the situation with Robin and bring it up because she doesn't want Robin to outshine her. Robin, you really effed yourself, because if you had came on this show and told your truth, you would have secured your seat on next season. You would have secured your seat, because the network would have been won over by knowing that you can actually come on here and hold your own. You can actually come on here with some real life stories. But no, missed opportunity, because both of y'all want to be sniffing up each other's buttholes and see how far the summer's eve goes up. I don't understand. Moving on. Chris talks about Giselle and Ashley knowing before the season about what happened, and she says Giselle didn't bring it up because it already, basically talking about Robin and Juan's situation. People knew about Juan cheating, but she was like, "Well, I was just waiting on people to bring it up. Like I wasn't going to bring it up if nobody else didn't bring it up. So, I just was going to wait until he said something or anybody, cuz she did message Giselle, and I'm sure I just assumed that she messaged other, meaning the mistress, the alleged mistress. She was like, she thought the mistress emailed everybody telling them what was going on with her and Juan or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, girl, how gullible can you be? Hmm? How stupid and gullible can you be? But girl, that's your life. You like it, I don't love it. So then Andy says, to other wives that bring it on the show, you say what? So Robin gives this whole cockamamie excuse like, well, listen, it's just like I assume Wendy and Candace would do the same thing for each other. Like friends, we have basically y'all have a little pact and go along with to get along with Giselle because you're written into her contract. People don't know that, but Giselle has Robin's presence written into her contract some kind of way. So I feel like Giselle gonna screw her own damn self over messing around with Robin. And pretty much she gonna mess her own self up because Giselle don't give nothing either. And people are starting to really shine a light on that. Cause it's getting old. I don't want to hear about this old man that you ain't probably doing nothing with. Please. Steve, whatever his name is. Girl, move on with your life. Moving on, then he asked to the people who look at the hotel receipt, you say I did it because I did. That's what you do. That's what you say to the people. And you tell Juan, I would much rather her have said, I forgive you, Juan. Let's not speak of it again. Like, don't do nothing else outside of here. If that's how she feels. If you're gonna be with him, set some parameters. But it is mighty Joe messed up that you sit up here and do all of this. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Linda Gamble get Ashley needs her butt kicked for talking to anyone's husband. Yeah. I just told you don't talk to my husband, and then you waddled your big forehead behind over here and had a whole conversation with him that turned left like I thought it would. Crazy. So the last thing he says is Robin says she doesn't demand transparency on anyone's relationship, which is a lie, because you definitely demanded transparency where it came to Karen, because you all bent out of shape like, oh, Karen this and Karen that. First of all, Karen had one of the best dressed outfits forever. I loved her outfit this season. Child, y'all get Monique back on this show and just stop playing, because she was not good for Love and Marriage DC, but I think that this is her niche. I think this is the place for her. Get rid of Mia and whoever else you need to get rid of to get her back on the show, because all of this stuff that they doing on Potomac, it's just getting absolutely ridiculous. Y'all making up stuff. When you resort to making up storylines about people and just constantly every year it's a rotation of, oh, well, Giselle may come after this person's marriage. Maybe that person. Oh, okay, maybe next season. Don't nobody got time for that. I promise you they don't got time for that. And I'm going to tell you something right here. I ain't going to make none. But thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.